Good afternoon and welcome back to Miss P Presents with me, Miss P. Now today we are picking up where we left off last time with 10 of my favourite period dramas of all time. And today of course we are talking about the next 5 on that list. So what are we waiting for? Without further ado, grab yourself a cup of tea. Geoffrey, one of these is empty. The point is I'm supposed to have a choice. I suppose I'll take the one that has tea in it, won't I? Not best pleased with you this morning. Oh, let's get talking. Next up on the list we have the BBC 2005 production of Bleak House. This adaptation truly is a masterclass in everything. The production values are so high, the cast, the direction and the editing are so unbelievably fantastic. It's such a moody piece of television, with colour used to great effect. The palette of greys and blues evokes oil paints and puddles and mugs of old stew. The weather is also incredibly powerful in creating atmosphere and drama.
Is it still raining, my love?
Yes, my love.
Remarkable.
And I am bored to death with it.
It's certainly one of the best Dickens adaptations I've ever seen, with the half-an-hour episodes leaving you constantly wanting more, just as the original serial would have, having been published in chapters between 1852 and 1853. The cast is wonderful across the board, with some of my favourites including Bern Gorman as Mr. Guppy, Phil Davis as Mr. Smallweed, and Gillian Anderson as Lady Deadlock. This is how it's done. Next up, we have the BBC 2009 production of Emma. For me, this is the best adaptation of Emma, trumping both 1996 versions as well as the more recent 2020 film. Crucially for me, the 2009 adaptation is a light but not flippant retelling of Austen's most cheerful novel. Of the title character, Austen famously said that she would be a heroine that no one but herself would much like. And yet, as almost any reader of Emma knows, this is not true. I found Emma playful, affectionate, warm, witty and relatable, despite her faults of snobbery and vanity. In Romola Gari's Emma, these traits are palpable. She is fun, lively company, and can also be patient and rational.
If you were to ask me, I would say that you were in need of a project.
Box Hill. It will be a very small and intimate party, and we will only invite people we like.
In certain other adaptations, I believe that Emma has been depicted as being too vain, too selfish, too self-obsessed, meaning that as an audience, we struggle to sympathise, connect with, or even like her, which, as I said, is not what I got from the novel. This adaptation always makes me happy. It is a visually gorgeous, highly amusing comedy of manners, fast-paced and full of twists. Next up, we have the BBC 1995 production of Pride and Prejudice. In my opinion, this is the original great period drama. It's pure joy. For me, it's a television experience that I feel I live, as opposed to just watch. There are several hilarious comic performances from Alison Steadman as Mrs. Bennet and David Bamber as Mr. Collins, as well as the sensational Jennifer Ely as the warm, sympathetic, funny, sharp and quick central character, Miss Elizabeth Bennet.
My brother has told me he has rarely heard anything that gave him more pleasure. You shall. But I warn you, your brother has grossly exaggerated my talents, no doubt for some mischievous reason of his own.
And who can forget Colin Firth? Literally no one. His transformation from stiff to soft, no pun intended, is genuinely moving. Watching Mr. Darcy melt from ice into water across the 6 episodes as he resists, considers, opens up and gives in really is a pleasure. Another triumph for this version is the soundtrack, which is marvellous. It has been said that Austen wrote a different language for each of her characters, and I love that in this adaptation the music signals that to us. We have Mr. Collins's music, Lady Catherine's music, each track rendering the characters so perfectly you cannot help but smile. Like the novel, this adaptation is perfect. Next up we have the BBC 2004 production of North and South. I love this novel by Elizabeth Gaskell, which was originally published in 1854, and this adaptation is a perfect retelling. We don't often see popular novels from this time set in the north of England, in what was the manufacturing capital of the UK. And for me, this drama is gripping, interesting, and fresh, as well as being a riveting backdrop to a slowly burgeoning romance. Our protagonist, Miss Hale, played by Daniela Denby-Ashe, meets factory owner Mr. Thornton, played by Richard Armitage, in his cotton mill in the fictional town of Milton. The cotton swirls around like snow, and her first sighting of this proud, self-important man is him standing above everyone else. Elevated, ethereal, dreamlike. This hazy, time-slowed-down quality is replicated in the final scene, which takes place on a train. It's beautiful, despite the fact that many of the scenes are depicting filthy city life. All of Milton's factory workers are dissatisfied, cold, hungry, and worked to the bone. It's a drama full of tension, resistance, and hardship, which makes the moments of softness even more poignant. One of the best moments for this is when Thornton opens up to Miss Hale, allowing himself to be vulnerable and becoming the antithesis of his normal character. Beautiful, brilliant drama. And finally, we have the 2021 BBC production of The Pursuit of Love. Possibly the best thing to come out of last year, except from this channel, of course. Emily Mortimer's adaptation of The Pursuit of Love brought me nothing but joy. It is such a treat to look at, with every scene offering heaps of interwar glamour and style.
Exalted companion of cocaine nights, 'cause he's a dandy in the underworld, dandy in the underworld. When will he come?
The contemporary soundtrack adds to the delight, with tracks from Marianne Faithfull, Brian Ferry, and the Rolling Stones adding to the glorious hedonistic feeling of being young, being a dreamer, and wanting to rebel. Watching it gave me the feeling of running through a field late at night, champagne in hand, cheeks red with cold, delirious with hope and desperate for more life. It's brilliantly cast, with Mortimer herself, along with Dominic West and Andrew Scott, providing excellent comic performances, alongside our two protagonists, cousins Fanny and Linda, who are expertly brought to life by Lily James and Emily Beecham. Love, love. That was 10 of my favourite period dramas of all time. Join me next time for more literary delights. I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching my channel. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all things Miss P Presents. See you next time.